Hey, what's up everybody? It's Tim. My name's Vinyl, your friendly neighborhood vinyl guy. So, if you clicked on the video, you probably saw the title, that this is kind of like a two-in-one, a little bit of a life update, a little bit of a quick vinyl haul. So I'm going to try to be as quick as possible. If you're only interested in one or the other, that's fine. I just appreciate you watching, and interacting with me, being my friend, all that fun stuff. So, sorry, I'm just being distracted playing with a dog and, life update. So here we go. So first off, let's go with the story time. I'm trying to be fancy. Anyway, so here in Florida, you kind of got to pick your battles when you're cutting your grass because it's death hot, and some days it feels like, it's hotter than Hades and what have you. So backyard was in desperate need of a cut. And Wednesday night after dinner, I decided, let me go ahead and just knock this out real quick. It took me like 20 minutes. It's not brutally hot. The sun's kind of behind some clouds or whatever. It's not in my face. So I get everything set up in the backyard, and I'm cutting the grass, and I was about a couple minutes in, and my foot found an anthill of something beyond this world. It was just brutal. And they swarmed on me quick. Killing them, beating them, just smacking my leg, hitting 5, 6 at a time, and some of them were biting me. They actually bit my hand. They actually got my other ankle. It was a mess. So I dealt with that and kind of, I'm frustrated. But I've been bit by ants before, and I want to say it's not a big deal. It hurts. It's not fun, but it is what it is. Ma'am. I'm not chew toy. I am friend. Don't bite friends. I just kept going. I was like, I'll shower. I'll put on some ice cream, and that'll be it. The more I mowed, the worse it got. I mean, everything was itchy, and it was on my leg, hot upper legs. It was on my arms, and it was bad. I mean, I just felt gross, and it was really aggravating. So, getting through a rough patch of grass was even more frustrating and stuff like that. So got through the grass, and I was just like, that's it. I'm not even cleaning up. I'll deal with it tomorrow. So I pushed the lawnmower in the garage, came in, and just went right for the shower to clean up. And the more I'm showering, the more I am realizing I am covered in welts. I mean, it is head to toe at this point, and I'm scratching them, and then, should be washing them, but I'm washing them with the washcloth. I'm scratching with the washcloth. It was bad. So a quick shower, and then towards the end, it starts getting rough. I mean, I'm like, what the heck's wrong? I mean, I know I did it quickly, but ma'am, we don't bite friends. No, ma'am. No, we don't bite friends. 1 second. Sorry, when she gets chewy, it's rawhide time. Or not rawhide, we don't give her real rawhide, but, something to chew on. She's a puppy. She's got big teeth coming in. I get it. Anyway, I'm in the shower. Things are just getting harder to deal with. So get out. I'm toweling off real quick. And at this point, it's probably been 20 minutes since the bites. Not even. Probably 15. I'm toweling off, and I yell to my wife. I was like, hey, do we still have any of that Benadryl that I know we've kept around for allergy attacks or whatever, thinking that'll help? She comes in, she's like, yeah, I think and she stops, and she just sees the welts all over my arms and chest, and she's like, you're not good. I'm like, well, thanks. But she was right. I felt like hell. I take the Benadryl, and I'm sitting on the bed, and I'm out of, what the heck? And it hits me. This is bad. It didn't take much convincing of either one of us to make the call. We got to go to the hospital. About 20 minutes at this point. So we're in the car. As soon as I get in the car, the breathing is getting hard. And the hospital's 10 minutes away. And in the back of my mind, I am telling her, for the first time in your life, step on the gas. I don't say it because kids in the car, I want to freak them out. But I'm like, run the light. Let's go. Like I said, the hospital's about 10 minutes away. She pulls up as close as she can to the door. And I walked the 5 to 6 steps into the door, and they're triaging right there because of, distance, everything being distance, social distancing, and making sure people are wearing masks. And the triage nurse looks at me and she's like, "Can I help you?" And I'm like, "I can't breathe. Welts." And she saw the welts and her eyes bugged out of her head. And I just sat on a chair. I didn't even ask if I could. I just sat down. I was going to fall. She yells for help and, says some code. I don't know. She could have said, purple. I don't know what the hell it was. I really wasn't paying attention. Guy comes out, sees me with the wheelchair, and he's just like, "Oh, hey, get in the chair." So we get in the chair, and they go to triage, and nobody at this point, I'm like, "I'm sorry, I don't have a mask." He's like, "You don't need a mask right now, sir." They take my blood pressure. It's low, it's high, it's low. And in like 2 minutes, they're like, "We got a problem." They get me to a room. They isolate me, take my shirt off. They see the welts. I mean, the guy's just like, "Holy." And they see the welts, and they're like, "We got a problem," and he yells out the door. When there's yelling in a hospital, there's a problem. Just keep that in mind. So doctors coming in, and other nurses coming in, and as every person comes in for the first time, they're doing that very quick double take with their eyes, which they're trained not to do, which says, "Uh-oh, we got a problem." And at this point, breathing is almost non-existent. It's bad. I am 3 words before I'm out of breath, and it takes every fiber of my being to try to bring air into my lungs, and it wasn't enough. They've started this IV in my right hand. They're prepping this one. They're already thinking they're going to double line me. This is about another 6 minutes. At which point they're getting meds. The IV stripping is already going. And I literally, the last thing I can say is, "I can't breathe." My wife's sitting here with a mask on, freaking out. Thankfully, my kid was so far into Minecraft on the Switch, he didn't hear a lot of it. He was just talking about the Switch, and I was like, "Keep going, tell me stuff. Keep him busy, keep me busy." And they hit me with an EpiPen, and the next 20 minutes were freaking me out. Breathing was really, really hard. It slowly stabilized, and I could breathe a little bit more. It was about a good hour before I felt like I could take a semi-breath without feeling like it was extremely labored. At this point, they're already thinking they're going to admit me. But I'm okay. Like, they feel like I'm out of the woods right now. They have steroids in me, an EpiPen in me. They have a second IV ready to go if needed, and they're doing everything per protocol. So they kind of look at my wife and they're like, "He's going to be here a hot minute, but he's okay. It's late. Why don't you guys go home?" Hugs and kisses. "Hey, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. Text me if you're worried or whatever." But the next few hours is a waiting game to see what happens. My body reacted well to the medicine. By 4 o'clock in the morning, the welts were gone. The breathing was pretty strong. Doctor looked at me and said, "I would have bet money," because I was betting everybody's money, "that you weren't walking out of here today. You want to go home?" Yes, I do. So from about 9 to 4, I was at the hospital. Maybe it was a little bit longer. I don't know. It's all fuzzy. Next day was a lot of rest. I was on meds and stuff like that. Best we can determine is that even though I've never shown an allergy to ant bites before, that this was the one. This was the mother of all attacks that kicked it into high gear. And when it kicked it into high gear, it kicked it into high gear hard. So they prescribed some, like a 5-day treatment of prednisone to keep my steroids keep me going, which steroids suck if you've never taken them. Your mood swings are really ridiculous. You gain weight. I mean, I've gained so much weight in the last couple of days, it's ridiculous. I feel disgusting, but I'm alive. Also, I had about a 95% blockage in my windpipe. That was scary. But I'm here. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to so I can be here. I shared a lot of that on social media. Some people didn't know, just figured, hey, I've been doing pretty good about commenting and watching and stuff like that the last couple weeks and getting back into things. And I kind of disappeared for a couple days. Wanted to let you guys know. So it's a couple days, I took off work Thursday. We kind of went back to work Friday. I work from home right now, but so it wasn't that much of a stretch. And Saturday I was doing some stuff around the house and needed to do some more work. And I was just kind of sitting there and, just thankful to be alive. And it had been an emotional roller coaster. I mean, I'm not even kidding. So I had decided, I'm looking on Facebook and looking on Instagram, and one of my locals just posted, he's like, hey, just putting some metal out, but ma'am, you're getting crazy with me. I get her another bone. I'll be right back. Sorry, when you gotta appease the dog who's chewing on your left arm, like, it's a slab of meat. Well, I guess it is a slab of meat. Anyway, so on my locals foundation, putting out some metal. I'm not gonna go. I said something to my wife, I'm not gonna go. She's like, why not? I was like, because I really don't need to. She's like, yeah, but you probably should. So I did, with the wife's blessing, no less. And I'm glad, because you saw from the other half, I pulled a GRAIL, and I do mean a GRAIL. So here's the metal, kids. Here's the happy part of the story. So I went in, did some digging, talked with my boys. The Coen Brothers run foundation. I'm friends with them. I just hadn't been there in a minute. So we're catching up. And look over and see the GRAIL, and I'm like, let's talk. He pulls it off the wall and he goes, man, we're going to work this out. It's going home with you today, whatever it is. So I flip and I grab a couple other pieces. So let's see what I grabbed. The first one I picked up is this one. This is Accept I'm a Rebel. Now, this is the Russian or UK, or I think everybody else in the world got this cover. US got a different cover. But here's the kicker. This is on Polygram, or Polydor actually, as you can see. And it appears to be a US press, even to the point where it's got a cutout. Discog says unknown pressing year, so it's like, is it a boot or whatever? I don't know, but either way, it's nice to have their second one with the original cover, because in the States, I think when this one came out, it was just called Accept, and it had like big red letters and gray cover and stuff like that. But first off, Accept is awesome. If it's Udo, you just buy it. You just don't even question. So I was happy to grab that one. Like I said, it was a head scratcher for me there, but because when I saw this, I was like, you gotta be shitting me. I mean, I expected to see a different label. But I was happy to see this, and fair price, so I jumped on that. The next one I picked up was an edition that I needed from my dock and stuff. This is just probably my favorite of the earlier ones, Tooth and Nail. Just love this album. Then, if you wanted anything docking, go talk to Rob at Black Star Vinyl. He'd break you down, what they were eating for lunch that day. His favorite band. But this is probably my favorite album by them. I really absolutely adore this album. Didn't have it on wax, so I was glad to pick that one up for, again, a nice steal. This was the second one I found that I threw at those guys and said, add that to my GRAIL. And I wouldn't say that this is GRAIL status, but it was really, really high on my want list. I mean, like, to me, GRAILs are the types of things that, you might punch a neighboring guy out of the way if he's reaching for it to subdue him long enough that you grab and go, oh, I'm so sorry, man, I didn't mean to do that. Here, But the most wanted, you might, I don't know, the most wanted, you might do it too, but a most wanted, you might go, I was just a second late. So I didn't feel the need to knock anybody out over this one, but I might have. It's Halloween's Keeper, the Seven Keys, Part 1. Hearing Future World after not having it in my collection for such a long time was such a joy. This was my introduction to Halloween back in the day. This was what, 87? I think 86. This was my introduction to them, and then I went backwards. I have a few CDs, like I know I have the Expanded Walls of Jericho and stuff like that on CD, but I mean, this was my first Halloween on wax. And so, last one, the GRAIL. And this was a GRAIL. I mean, I have been wanting this for a long time. Had it before, had it on cassette, had it on CD. You know, we've talked about the fact that my collection kind of got parted out a long time ago. Is what it is. Excuse me. But so I've been wanting this one back, and badly. Like, can't sleep at night, cold sweats, that type of thing. And like I said, there it was. And it's like, that's going home. I don't care. And I've seen reissues of this, and the reissues are even pricey. And usually sometimes I'm like, I'm going to spend X, and the reissue is there. I might just get the reissue. But this one was too special. You know, you wanted that original press, and you wanted it clean. And I'm still kind of in shock that it's in my hands, because it is so special to me. It's also my favorite live album of all time. Metalheads only have to hear a portion of the phrase, and you know what I'm saying. Some of you already know it. Scream for me, Long Beach. This album is the perfect live album, to me, of all time. I had the absolute privilege and joy to see Maiden on the Somewhere on Tour in the DC area when that tour kicked off. And it was like the third or fourth night, so they were just energetic. And they blew the place apart. I mean, no one's ever gone to a Maiden show and they kind of phoned it in. I mean, it's Maiden. They're professionals. They give you everything. But a couple days later, I went back and listened to Live After Death, and I was amazed. This was exactly what I saw. This is exactly what I heard. And you know, you hear the overproduction, or the fact that they'll take like 19 different recordings from the tour to get the best one. They gave it to you every night. This is the best live album, to me, of all time. This is an original RCA club press. I mean, look at that cover. That cover just, I mean, other than a couple little wear down here, the spine is beautiful. That gorgeous gatefold has the original inners. A little bit of a crease, but that's okay. And I just had to order new inners so that way I could get them out of here. But I think they just finally came today. But and what was nice that the guys actually ran it through their ultrasonic for me. So I just came home and cranked the hell out of it and pissed my family off. But I don't care. This was a long time coming in the collection, and a much needed smile on my face. Scream for me, Long Beach. So that was my GRAIL. Guys, thanks for listening. I guess I just wanted to share it with my friends who, I consider all of you my friends. I mean, let's face it, this is a social media platform for us to communicate one-sided at a time. But it's still a chance for us to communicate. I know some people don't do every bit of social media, and some do some and some do others, and that's fine. You know, the fact that we interact on this platform, if this is one of many or just one of one, I'm honored and humbled that we interact. But I thank you for watching. For those of you who reached out after I had shared it on Facebook, thank you. You know, your well wishes definitely help. I have a follow-up Wednesday with my general doctor, taking everything that happened. He'll have the records, and now let's just come up with a plan. As it stands now, they've advised me that I need to carry an EpiPen, just in case. That's something to wrap my head around. And I've already forgotten it twice. Forgot it when I went to the record store. I was excited, like a kid in a candy store. So. But the good news is I'm still here. I'm still kicking. So now it's just a matter of continue on the mend and start getting back into fighting shape. So thank you all for watching, for commenting. Again, if you want to follow me on Instagram, I show a lot of different stuff that I'm posting or listening to. DJ_High Noon. It's my old channel name. I'm not changing it. Lots of contests going on, and I'm trying to get to you guys. Just the last few days just kind of threw me for a curve, but I'm hoping this is kind of like my I'm back. So thank you all. I love you all. Please be safe and be well. I'm hoping that everybody is doing everything they can to be as healthy and happy as they can be. Take care, everybody. Scream for me, Long Beach. Peace.